الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الخلق وسيد المرسلين سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم أجمعين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. In lecture number 10, we talked about the movement in the life of the children between their old villa, in which they had everything before them and in which they felt very happy, and their new life, which seems to be poor and to be incomplete and to lack a lot of things. They don't have father, they do not have much of mother, they don't have all the conveniences that they used to have in the previous house, and nevertheless they seem very, very happy. Why is that? Because as children, they don't care about the outside world. They do not seem to care about poverty or the poverty of the family. They don't seem to care about anything except their own pleasure and their own entertainment. And they like the new house so much because no one tells them to study, no one tells them to stop, no one tells them anything at all. They do whatever they want to do. Every day they go to the station, every day they enjoy themselves in their surroundings. And the major attraction to them is the railways. We had a central image last time, or in lecture 10, about the dough. I do not want to repeat it. You can go to the presentation and you have an illustration there that will help you to understand it, inshallah. Lecture number 11. Now they are poor, as I said. Okay, let's first of all see how many slides we have. We have 22 slides, so help me to finish them, inshallah. In June came 3 wet days. Now we are talking about England. If you have been to England, you will know that even in June the weather can be cold. It is not very hot in June. So there was a lot of rain and cold in June. The rain came down straight as lances, very strong, and it was very, very cold. As we agreed, the writer uses very, very because this is suitable to the language of children. Nobody could go out and everybody shivered out of cold. So what do they need? Fire to warm them up. Fire means money. And do they have a lot of money in order to bring fire? No. So what is the logical movement? What is the logical step for them to do? It is to bring coal at whatever price. Mother is poor. So Peter thinks of a plan, and this is to go to the station and to take some coals from the station, thinking that this is not a bad idea, but actually it is wrong, as we all know. They all went up to the door of mother's room and knocked because they are cold and they needed fire, they needed to warm up, they needed even the warm embrace of mother. They went up to her room and knocked. In the past, it was mother who came to them under such problems. Mother doesn't open the door, she just says from the inside. What is it? A real difference, isn't it? Mother said Bobby. Now she's not Roberta, she's Bobby. Mayn't I light a fire? I don't know how. She wants to light a fire, she wants to warm up. Can I do that? And mother said no. They are poor, they cannot afford it. My ducky love, we mustn't have fires in June. Coal is so dear, we do not have much coal, so we mustn't have fire in June. If you're cold, go and have a good romp, walk, run, do some exercise. That will warm you. See what a difference now? It's completely different, isn't it? It's more than we can afford. Chicken it off, said mother cheerfully. We cannot afford to have cold in June. It is June. Suppose it is icy cold in June and it is raining and everybody is shivering. Shouldn't we light a fire using coal? No, it's due. We are poor. We cannot afford it. So go run. But she says that with a very nice tone, chickeny love. And in the last slide, ducky love. You see? Ducky love. And here she says chickeny love, using endearing terms with the children, said mother, and cheerfully. She is cheerful, you know. Now run away. There is darlings. Also the word darlings. And madly busy. Why is she taking that attitude? She's madly busy. Phyllis says, mother is always busy now. In a whisper to Peter. And Peter did not answer. He is wise. He is acting like a wise boy. He shrugged his shoulders. He was thinking like the man of the house. Thinking and thought, linking words and paragraphs. Thought, however, could not long keep itself from the suitable furnishing of a bandit's lair in the attic. Peter was a bandit, of course. He was dreaming and thinking of other plans. But when Phyllis was going to add jam, another example of poverty, jam and butter, mother said, in the past, she didn't notice, she didn't care, she didn't comment. Now she says, jam or butter, but she also says jam. Jam or butter, not jam and butter. We cannot afford that because we are poor. We can't afford that sort of reckless luxury nowadays. It's a luxury, rafahiyya. We cannot eat jam and butter at the same time, either jam or butter. But she says love or diem. One way of showing that they are poor. And the children begin to think and to plan. I have an idea. That's Peter. What is that? They asked politely. I shan't tell you, was Peter's unexpected rejoinder. He said in an unexpected way, I cannot tell you of my plan now. Oh, very well, said Bobby. And Phil said, don't, then, tahar, brahtak, don't tell us. Children, once again. Girls, said Peter, are always so hasty-tempered. An old man now, Peter. Girls are always so hasty-tempered. I should like to know what boys are. This is Bobby, said his sister. The struggle between males and females. Feminism, as I explained before. I'm not going to explain again. Okay? If I find, this is the plan. If I find a coal mine, a place that from which we can take coal, you shall help cart the coal. That is to say, to carry coal from the heap of coal into the cart, a small cart that is to be pushed and pulled. Peter condescended to promise. This is the only thing that he says to them. I'm thinking of taking coals and bringing them to the house. Keep your secret if you like, said Phyllis. Don't tell us. He has already told them the secret. And now she says, being Phyllis, of course, she says, keep your secret. Keep it if you can, said Bobby. Keep it if you can now. Now you have told us. I'll keep it right enough. Again, to help mother in their own way, what do the children do? First thing they think of is to be good enough by preparing their beds and sleeping early and not calling each other names. And then also by thinking of something wrong, which is stealing coal from the station, but they don't consider this to be stealing. The chariot was packed full of coal. The cart the small cart. The chariot was packed full of coal, and when it was packed, it had to be unpacked again. Look at the narrative voice and how sweet it is in addressing us and in talking to us about the story here. And when it was packed, it had to be unpacked again because it is heavy. It was so heavy that it couldn't be got up the hill by the three children, not even when Peter harnessed himself to the handle with his braces and firmly grasping the waistband in one hand, pulled while the girls pushed behind. They are weak. They are very small children, and they cannot actually take care of the chariot that is full of coal. So they had to unpack it and to drop some coals from it. 3 journeys, 1, 2, 3, had to be made before the coal from Peter's mine was added to the heap of mother's coal in the cellar, the place in which there is coal. So they go to the station once, they go twice, they go thrice, and they bring some coals from the station and put it in the house in order to help mother. And mother is upstairs, either busy or sick. So I've caught you at last. The station master, he has not noticed them before, and now he says, I've caught you at last, have I? You young thief, said the station master. The first time ever in their entire life that someone calls Peter or one of his sisters thieves. I'm not a thief, said Peter as firmly as he could. I'm a coal miner. This is the name that he gives the process. It is not stealing. It is just mining coal, searching for coal. He needs coal and he found it and he gets part of it. Tell that to the Marines. Tell that to somebody else. The station master again. Has the writer told us directly that the family is getting poorer and poorer? Of course not. One great technique is the image of the candle. How many candles are we supposed to light? In the past, she said, as many as you can, as you want. And then she said 14. And now she said, no, 1 is enough, or 3 are enough. Do you understand? To be just as true wherever I told it to you, said Peter. You're right there, said the man who held him. The man is holding Peter from his shirt, putting him under arrest because he has stolen coal from the station. Stir Joe, you young drip, and come along to the station. Come with me to the station. You are a thief. Oh no, cried in the darkness an agonized voice that was not Peter's. Another voice, that's the voice of his sisters. No, don't take our brother. Not the police station, the other sister. Don't take him to the police station. They are very kind and innocent. Not yet. That is to say, I will, but not now. The railway station first. Why? It's a regular gang. Any more of you? Allah, Allah, Allah. Who else is here? Are we in front of a gang? A group of thieves? Any more of you? Only us. They are very innocent and kind and sincere and naive. No, only us, said Bobby and Phyllis, coming out of the shadow of another truck. They were hidden, labeled Slavery Colliery, and bearing on it the legend in white chalk, wanted in number 1 road. What do you mean by spying on a fellow like this? Said Peter angrily. Peter thought that he was the only one talking to the station master, being the man of the house. But his sisters went after him and they were hiding. So when the man threatened to take him under arrest, they showed up. Time someone did spy on you, I think, said the station master. Come along to the station, my dear. Oh, don't, said Bobby. Can't you decide now what you will do to us? It is like a sort of adventure, you know. No, tell us. Don't just create suspense and leave us like that. Tell us, please, what you want or you intend to do with us. It's our fault just as much as Peter's. We are mistaken. We know now that we did something wrong. We helped to carry the coal away, and we know where he got it. So we can tell you where he put the coal. Look at the title here, Innocence and Child Talk. They are very innocent. And the kind of talk is very realistic. Then why did you steal? The station master's voice was so much kinder now that Peter replied, the man is kind, and he begins to realize that they are innocent children. They are not thieves. You know, so the man is asking, why did you do that? In normal situations, if father and mother are still here while the children are growing up, they would tell them that it is not good for you to talk to other people about family secrets. Don't tell other people about what is happening inside our house. But father is away and mother is away, and the children are confronted with a crime, an accusation. The station master is accusing them of theft. So they begin to confess. They begin to admit and to talk to him about family secrets. You know that one day, well, mother said we were too poor to have a fire. Relaying the information, informing him of what really happened. We always had fires when it was cold at our other house. The man has no idea. The man is surprised. The station master is surprised that the children are that naive. When Peter begins to tell the man of those secrets, Bobby understands that this is wrong and that he is committing a mistake. So she says, don't, in a whisper, don't tell the man things about mother. Well, said the station master, rubbing his chin thoughtfully, I'll tell you what I'll do. I look over at this one, الحاديه. I'm not going to arrest you or to take you to the police station. But you remember, young gentleman, now he is being kind to him. Stealing is stealing, and what's mine isn't yours. Whether you call it mining or whether you don't, now run along home. Go home. Nothing will be done. And because they have no experience in life, the children are surprised and happy at the same time. Do you mean you aren't going to do anything to us? Well, you're a brick. You're a very good man, said Peter with enthusiasm. You're a dare, said Bobby. Bobby, if you've seen the movie, is not small. She's not a very small child. She's a teenager. You're a dare, but still her mind is small, and she's a child anyway. Phyllis, you're a darling. Look at this, brick, dare, darling. All of them shift or change from very sad, angry, disappointed children when they knew that they would be arrested into very enthusiastic and charming ones when the man acquits them. That's all right, said the station master. All this takes place while mother is above, busy writing. And on this they parted. They left each other. By now the children know the time when the trains pass. They understand when the trains go along, because every day they visit the station and they know the time when the train comes. Every morning they will wave an old gentleman who always waves back at them. They find a gentleman. They think that by waving their hands to the train, the 9:15 train, the train will understand the wave and take this greeting to father. But there is a man, an old man in the train that sees them, and every day he takes the same train and sees the children waving, and he waves back to them. They pretended that the old man knows their father, and takes their love to him in London. They create this story and believe it. One day their mother becomes very ill, and Bobby resolves to do something positive to help. As mother was poor before and they needed coal, they went to the station and tried to get some coal from the station master. Now mother is sick. Remember when Mrs. Viney said you have to tell the doctor, and this is dangerous, don't wait. Now the old gentleman. Chapter 3. We will get some more details about chapter 3 and chapter 4 inshallah. After the adventure of Peter's coal mine, it seemed well to the children to keep away from the station. First of all, in the previous slide, what is it that she resolves to do in order to help mother? She resolves to send a message to the nice old gentleman on the train, telling him that mother is sick, please help us because we are very poor. And though she knows that this is wrong, but she understands that she loves her mother so much, and she does that. She writes a piece of paper on which she asks the man for help. The paper reaches the man, and next time he sends some medicine and some presents and some drinks for their sick mother, and tells them, do not tell mother that I have done that. And mother takes all this first of all without asking, and then when she is better, she asks the children, from where have you got all this? And they tell her the story, and she is very shocked. But again, she doesn't torture the children with questions, but she just says, this is wrong, do not do it again. In chapter 3, after the adventure of Peter's coal mine, it seemed well to the children to keep away from the station, because these two experiences, they have been accused of stealing, and then they have told the secret of the family to the station master, and they have also told the man, the old man, about the sickness of mother. But they cannot keep away from the station. It is the center of their life. They could not keep away from the station. They had lived all their lives in a street where cabs and omnibuses rumbled by at all hours, and the cars of butchers and bakers and candlestick makers. I never saw a candlestick maker's cars, did you? Might occur at any time. But now, this is a different life. Here, in the deep silence of the sleeping country, the only things that went by were the trains. They seemed to be all that was left to link the children to the old life that had once been theirs. The writer is trying to say that from now on, the trains will be very important for the children, linking their old life, in which they were not interested in trains, to their new life, in which trains will play a very important part. Straight down the hill in front of Three Chimneys, the name of their new house, the daily passage of their 6 feet began to mark a path across the crisp short turf. They began to know the hours when certain trains passed, and they gave names to them. The 9:15 up was called the Green Dragon, and the other one was called the Worm of Wantley. This one is very important for their new life, the 9:15 train. The children paint the words "Look out" at the station on a large white sheet and wave it at the 9:15 train. The next day, when the train is about ready to leave, Phyllis passes a letter to the old gentleman. She gives him the letter. In the evening, a large box of supplies is delivered to the children with all the things they have asked for. They have asked for brandy, for liquor, for medicine, for drinks, for things needed by a mother, and the man sends all such things to them. When their mother finally recovers from her illness, they confess to her what they have done earlier. They tell her everything, beginning from the coal story. The family later celebrates Roberta's 12th birthday, all dressed in their best. Bobby receives various presents from the family, including Peter, who reluctantly has to give her the broken half of his toy train filled with sweets. This is chapter 4. Her lovely birthday party, however, ends on a sad note when she realizes that her mother is very upset later that night. Bobby secretly wants to repair Peter's broken train. She goes to the station and accidentally gets into the engine of one of the trains. Feeling scared, she seeks help from 2 railway workers. The 2 men not only repair the toy but also make sure she arrives home. She is a child, a 12-year-old girl. She has part of the broken engine of Peter. She takes it to the station and asks people there to fix it. They do so and they bring her safely home. Weeks later, Bobby introduces Peter and Phyllis to the friendly engine driver and Jim, the fireman, which will mark the beginning of a new story, a new part of the story. The children witness a landslide that covers the railway line. The children prevent an imminent accident by waving the girls' red petticoats. There is a lot of sand and there might be an accident. They prevent that accident by waving. The train comes to rest just in time at about 20 meters from where Bobby stands on the tracks. Weeks later, a ceremony is held at the station to commemorate the children's bravery. They are brave, they are considered courageous, and everyone celebrates this. The old gentleman presents the children with a gold watch. Each one of them gets a gold watch, and he meets their mother at home. The children relay that eventful day to their mother. They tell their mother about that. So we have arrived at chapter 5. I've just told you the story, or a summary or a paraphrase of the story. Of course, next time, inshallah, and the 2 times after, we will try to finish the remaining section of the novel. But as you know, every new chapter will bring us new details of the new life of the children, and we will get confirmation every time that the new life is better and more interesting and exciting than their boring life before. Our mother continues to be very busy, and we continue to be delighted and pleased at how the children spend their time in the bosom of nature and in the bosom of the railway station. It has been a pleasure being with you this time. Thank you very much. I wish you the best, and I hope that you have enjoyed and benefited by this and by all lectures. I have seen you once in the... No, I will be seeing you on Saturday. Today is Wednesday, inshallah, in the first live lecture, hoping to see you then and to receive your questions. And I'm sure that by now you have formed an idea, a really good idea about the novel and about the course Children's Literature. Thank you very much for today, and looking forward to seeing you again. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.